How do we go to the toilet in a car camper? And we've actually gone into more car parks than not recently.
Okay, so one of the most major upgrades that we've had recently.
This is what it is, our last minute upgrade.
So we've got a bit of a new setup and we're gonna go and test it out now.
You've all said to us and suggested to us that we need a roof box and we need a tent, a roof tent. You might have noticed that Janine and I aren't the most organised of people.
This is an absolute disaster. We need to get it sorted big time.
Because it's really serious stuff now and we're setting off imminently.
Welcome back to the channel. We're Janine and Liam Day, a couple who have been doing full-time van life in the UK for the last 3 years. But since returning back from a crazy trip to India, our perspectives have changed and we have a new life plan. But for that plan to unfold, we knew we sadly had to raffle off our beautiful fully off-grid camper van conversion and home, Morgan. And as our home is now a raffle prize, we knew we needed another vehicle and a roof above our heads as we go through this transition. That's when I suggested to Liam that we attempt to live, travel and camp in a car full time. Jumping on the idea, we then bought ourselves a Citroen Berlingo, which, with the help of a boot jump, we converted into a micro camper. Since the birth of the idea until now, however, there has been a lot of changes, upgrades and modifications, and today we'll share those changes with you and also find out whether we honestly regret moving from van life to car camping.
Welcome back to the channel. We have got a lot to share with you since the last time we saw you. As you know, we've moved from this van here, which is a big green removals van, which we've converted into a camper van, into this micro camper you see behind us. We have learnt a lot. Lots of stuff has changed since the last time we saw you, since we did that initial stealth camp in the Cotswolds. We've had a lot of updates, modifications. So in this video, we're gonna answer all of your questions, including things like where do we go to the toilet in a micro camper, and what our travel plans are, and do we regret moving from this into a little car? All of that will be answered in this video. What's happening with Morgan, our camper van you see behind us here? We've actually been living in Morgan for the last few weeks whilst we've been in this transition stage, and we've been very grateful to have a roof over our heads. We love our camper van. We're not driving him too much because he's a prize in a raffle now, and that's the main reason why we're moving into the car, is because Morgan is a prize. He will be won by one of you guys in the coming weeks, months. So there are tickets left available. If you'd like to enter to win Morgan, go to the link in the description. £5 a ticket. The more tickets you buy, the better chances you have of winning him, and he could be your new fully off-grid home. But however, for us, we are going to no longer be living in him anymore. We're actually going to drop him off to a really secure location, and that's where he's going to stay until one of you guys win him, and we are going to move fully into the car imminently.
Okay, so one of the most major upgrades that we've had recently was a couple of days ago, and as you can see, we got our windows tinted and we're so happy with it. We went to a place called PRO-TINT in Warwickshire and we got them done, and they're actually really good, and I'm going to explain why now. We knew we wanted the dark tint of windows on our car camper for obvious reasons, to help with privacy and stealth and not allowing people to see in the back of the vehicle. But we had no idea that tinting can also help with climate control of the car itself. Greg at PRO-TINT in Leamington Spa offered us the extra ceramic tint to purchase, and we are glad we did.
So basically this is like a heat bulb, and this is clear glass, and at this point there's a lot of heat coming through the glass. When we turn it around, the ceramic film is a lot thicker and it cuts about 40% of the heat out. So basically that glass I can touch, no problem, it's not going to burn me. Whereas this stuff, I can touch it at the moment, but I wouldn't want to. When you got your hand close to it. And I think the thing is, from a car's perspective, in the bright heat, particularly if you're camping in it, it will cut that heat down. But also it has the opposite effect. In winter, it will keep it a little bit warmer. Not a massive amount, just a little bit.
It's looking really good.
It's good, isn't it? It's exactly what this vehicle needs.
It's looking really good. It actually makes the Berlingo look really quite snazzy. Not that it didn't look snazzy anyway, but you know.
The other major upgrade, of course, that we got is a BLUETTI power bank. This is the AC180, and we've also got a solar panel to go with it as well, the PV200. We chose this particular model because it's compact, it's easy to carry, and it's powerful, it's got high capacity, and it's just perfect for car camping, to be honest with you. Full of USB ports, 3-pin plugs, not too big, but not too small. It's got everything, we'll be able to power everything on it, and yeah, a good addition to car camping.
Okay, cool. So the food situation, we had a little bit of a nightmare when we tried to cook a mushroom stroganoff on our first ever wild camp in this car, and it was a really windy day. It was very difficult. So we've had a long think about it, and we've had some really good suggestions from you guys. So we've got a bit of a new setup, and we're going to go and test it out now. So this is our current setup, and we have this cooker which you've seen us cook with, which is actually really good. However, in extreme windy conditions we have come across problems. So we've thought about it, and we've decided that we have now this wind guard here which we're going to place, and we also have another wind guard, so that's going to help. But it might not be completely ideal. So what we've decided to do is, on really windy days, if we want to cook something, we're just going to take the cushion off here and place it inside, and either cook on here as a table or on the floor, and that's where we're going to cook. But there might be some days that we don't want to do that. And on those days we have got this new addition, and this will be able to cook inside out of the wind. It's also really handy if we want to go out on hikes, we can take it with us as well. And it's like a water heater, so we can cook only certain meals with this, and but apparently it's really good. Okay, so here we have the Fire Maple FMS X1 camping gas stove, which was recommended to us by you guys in the comments of our previous video. It promises to boil water in windy conditions and would be suitable for things like cups of teas, coffee, noodles, or anything that simply just needs heating up. Assembling was simple. Now to see how quickly it boils some water.
I don't think you're supposed to leave it.
Oh my god, that happened really quickly. Liam literally got a phone call, answered the phone. 2 minutes later it started boiling and overboiling as well, and I didn't know how to turn it off. So yeah, that's really good. Really powerful. It is quite windy today as well, and it's really quick. So cup of tea time.
I saw your mama just the other day. She looked glad to see me again. Do you remember when I used to come over to your house every day? Still remember the smell of your car when you drove me down to that lake. Felt so good staying up all night. That will forever be our place. And I know.
So that's the emergency food situation sorted in the jet boil, and we think that that'll work. It's not ideal eating noodles out of a pot, but needs must, we're camping, and that jet boil is absolutely fantastic. It made that cup of tea, that hot boiling water, in less than 3 minutes. So we're super happy with that. So the most common question that we've had since getting the car camper is, are we getting a roof box? It's a very good question, it's a very good suggestion. There's some brilliant roof boxes out there. We've actually decided against it, and I'll tell you why now. The car, as you saw, coming into this car park, we managed to get into this car park that it's got a 2-meter height restriction. If we were to get any box, and that includes the roof bars as well, then we can no longer get into, say, this car park where we are now. We've tested it out and we've just gone about our lives like as usual, sorting stuff out, and we've actually gone into more car parks than not recently that have height barriers. When we were in Morgan, we obviously avoided those car parks, but we wanted to travel around as it stands and have the freedom to travel around and go into any car park whilst doing car camping. We've sacrificed space. What we sacrifice and what we compromise with that is we get more places to go to, basically, with more freedom. So we've definitely 100% decided against a roof box. However, there is a new edition that's coming in the post tomorrow. That's what we're still just waiting for before we're actually leaving to go on our big trip. And once we get that, we'll show you. And I think it's a really, really good compromise, and it will help us with the sheer amount of stuff that we have in the back of this car. We are 2 people living in the back, 2 adults. We've actually managed to minimise quite a bit, but the roof box we're not doing.
Okay, cool. So minimising my stuff, that was a difficult task. I have managed to do it though, with the help of a few different tips that I will share with you now. But the main thing really to consider is that I didn't actually have that much stuff to begin with. Obviously, we're moving from a van to a car, and I didn't manage to be able to squeeze that much stuff into the van anyway. And before that, we lived in a caravan, which was about the same size as a small flat. So going from the caravan to our first van, I had to get rid of a lot of things, and I've had to do that a few times now, and every time you do it, it gets so much easier. So this time round, I just sort of picked out the clothes that I actually do wear and I do love, and the ones that I don't wear and I haven't worn for quite a long time, I just thought I'm just gonna have to detach myself from them and give them to a charity shop. They're nice clothes, but I might not wear them again, and I haven't worn them for ages, so that doesn't matter. But one thing that has helped, I've bought some packing pods, and these things are absolutely brilliant. So I just roll my clothes up and put them individually into pods, and it's helped me organise as well. So I've got a summer section and a winter section. So yeah, that's just brilliant. As for my cosmetics, I just picked out the stuff I use and I got rid of the stuff that I don't, and I kept my favourite perfume. So yeah, it's just really worked out well.
One thing I'd like to add about minimalism, Janine said it so well there, that it's a really interesting concept, and actually we've got someone who is a minimalist therapist who is a member of the channel. So hello to you and thank you for your question. She'd like us to explain our process of minimizing and how we feel about it, and I want to do it very, very quickly. Janine said about how she sort of, most of the stuff she's gotten rid of is stuff that she doesn't wear anymore or hardly wears. One of the main concepts is the things that you have, you love. Not just getting things that you just have for the sake of it and you wear or use rarely. There's some people who go with minimalism, which is what I try to do, which is where one item of clothing comes in, one goes out, and I don't do that very often, but try and stick to that. And it's the same with items as well. When you live in vans, you try and have every item that you have, object, has to have dual purpose at least. So van life helps with minimalism anyway, but moving to a car is a different kettle of fish, a whole different ball game. But one thing I would say is that it feels really, really good. At any point in our life where we've struggled moving forwards, a lot of the problem has been because we've had stuff, inanimate objects that have been holding us back, and they're just not worth it. Possessions just aren't worth it to inhibit your freedom. So one thing I would say is, I could be talking a complete gibberish to you right now if you've never done the minimalising thing. One thing I would say is, if stuff's holding you back, have a go at it, because it feels really, really good. As you know by now, freedom is the most important thing to me and Janine. So yeah, give it a go. You've all said to us and suggested to us that we need a roof box, and we need a tent, a roof tent, or we need a trailer tent. And I can tell you that we've actually got one. We didn't get the roof box, we didn't get the roof tent, but we did get an awning that's specifically from Red Coat Leisure, where we got the actual micro camper for, that's specifically for micro campers. So this is it here. You'll be very entertained to know that it's a very windy day today, and we didn't pick a windy day. In fact, it's very hard to find a non-windy day at the moment, which is really annoying. But we're both going to give it a go and try and put this up and see what it is see what it's like for the first time, because we've never put it up before. And really, to be honest with you, If it's a friggin' nightmare and we can't see absolute sort of essential use for it, then we probably won't take it. But I think that the reason why we did decide to go for it before even putting it up was before, if we do go to a campsite, because we're going to need showers eventually, we're going to need like laundry and stuff, then wouldn't it be nice to have some extra space? But it's all down to whether it's any good or not. So let's put it up.
Good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Welcome to the biggest disaster.
No, it'll be all right. We've got this.
Was I drinking, looking for the next thing? Couldn't really settle down. Always on the run, I didn't want to slow down.
Instruction number 1, ensure the ground is free of stones. Whoops. I will be all right.
No, I won't ever let you down. I promise you that I hold on. I know that it gets tough sometimes, so I'm here to remind you, love.
Okay, so I'm inside the awning now. It's not fully erected. There's poles that go in here. So it sort of stays more upright. But actual fact, even without the poles, it seems to be pretty good. The one thing that we couldn't do, because it's too windy, is get it in position well and get it pegged in because the ground's too hard. But actual fact, it took us no time at all to get it up to this stage. So I actually feel like if it's a non-windy day, even if we manage to park in a car park with a green bit at the back of it, for cooking purposes, getting change purposes, it's pretty good, and especially going for a campsite. So I think we're going to keep it. And we did it in really, really windy conditions as well. So yeah, let's keep the awning. What do you reckon, Janine?
Yeah, I really like it.
Janine likes it as well. It's a winner.
Oh, let's have a look at this. Oh my god.
Oh, I actually really like it. It extends our space by quite a bit actually. And yeah, I think that would be really nice at a campsite. So yeah, I'm down with this awning.
I know that it gets tough sometimes, so I'm here to remind you, love. The sun will shine on you wherever you go, wherever you go. And when it gets dark, stay strong. You're never alone. You're never alone. The sun will shine.
No, I don't actually. Although we haven't started yet, it's a bit difficult to say regrets so far, or not so far into it. So I might change my mind as we move further on, but at the moment I don't regret it at all. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's hard to know. It's hard to know until we start doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got to admit that as far as nervousness is concerned, you might have noticed that Janine and I aren't the most organised of people, and we happily admit that. We're impulsive, we take risks, and we're not very organised. But I would say that that's, apart from the organisation, I think they're all like winning combinations for car camping. But unfortunately, the organisation thing, even before Janine just turned the camera on just to film this bit, she said, you know, we're going to have to really get organised with this. Because it's really serious stuff now, and we're setting off imminently to do this full time. As we said, we're handing over Morgan tonight or tomorrow to a secure location, and we are then moving in full time. So the next time you see us, we are going to be setting off for full-time travel. And we didn't want to move into him before that and film or anything before that, because we wanted to show you what it's like to, in the first few days especially, of us moving into the car and the troubles that we come up against. So whatever happens, we're going to share with you through the thick and the thin, the good, the bad and the ugly. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of ugly.
Yeah.
Are there not tears in your eyes, are they?
But there's going to be good times as well.
The thing is, there's going to be a lot of freedom involved in it, and we're going to see a lot of places that we wouldn't ordinarily be able to see. So yeah, nervous, excited, and just really want to get started now. If we weren't waiting on the next upgrade to come, then we would be off. But still, we've gone through a few things that we need to go through.
Okay, so smaller upgrades that we've done to the car. You know about the fridge and you know about the packing pods, and so the next one is the cargo net. We've managed to put that up. It's really good actually. It stores away a lot of things. However, it does sag a little bit. We've put the blinds in there and they're quite bulky. So it's hanging down quite low. It's not ideal. So we still need to try and sort that out, but we'll fix that. And we have got some boxes for our windows to put our sort of cosmetics in. We didn't buy the official sort of Berlingo boxes that they make out of plywood because they were really expensive, like £250 each, and we just thought we'd save on the money. So we bought some cheap sort of £5 things, and we're holding them up with some Velcro and some bungees, and we're just going to see how it goes. We might find out that it's a complete disaster and they fall down, or they might stay up the whole time. If they stay up the whole time, we've saved ourselves a heap of money. So yeah, they're some smaller upgrades to our car.
How do we go to the toilet in a car camper? It's one of the most common questions. It's exactly the same as if we were in a big van. This is what we did in Morgan. We've got a urinal bottle, portable urinals. These things are a lifesaver. They're one of the most important things in a camper van, in my opinion. And the other thing is a bivy loo. And basically the bivy loo works by, it unravels, it's collapsible, it's a biodegradable bag, and you just do your business in the bag and bin it. It's an emergency toilet. We don't intend to use it. We'll find out as we go along. There is space. We're going to use, if we need to use this in emergency, we'll use the space where the table goes. And that's it. That's how we're going to do it. It might change as we move forward, but we think that this might be the best method for what we've got.
This is it, the box that's going to change our lives. Is this Letty? It's going to change our lives. This is an absolute disaster. We need to get it sorted big time.
Okay, inside this box is something that we thought very last minute, considering that we're actually leaving tomorrow, that we need to get, and we've just got it through. We're super excited about it. We could probably do without it, and it would take a lot of organising if we were to do without it, but just having something so quite affordable, actually, a lot more affordable than we thought, sod it, why not? I think it's going to really, really help us. Anyway, without further ado, this is what it is. Our last minute upgrade. Can you guess what it is yet? Can you, Jane?
I know what it is. It's a sup board.
It's a sup board. Yes, because we've got so much space. We thought we'd buy a sup board. That's it. It is a roof bag, a rooftop bag. So rather than getting a box on top, which requires, not only do you have to get the box, which costs a fortune that we've discovered, you can't really get cheap rooftop boxes, but you also have to get the roof rails as well. So all in all, it probably would have cost us between £350 and £500. So rather than doing that, we opted for a roof bag. This is a waterproof sort of bag on top of your roof, and you don't even need rails for it, apparently. So I'm going to put it on now and see how easy it is. It comes with a slip mat as well to go on the roof, so it doesn't damage the roof. So this could be a bit of a game changer for us, Janine.
This officially means I can go shopping when we get to Europe.
Okay, so it's all done. It's actually quite easy. Well, no, it's really fiddly to put up, but once it's up, it should be good now. And this also, the reason why we've gone with a roof bag and not roof box is you save height on the vehicle. So we can still get cheaper ferry tickets because the height is still 1.8, and we can still get in barrier car parks that are at 2 meters, because if we need to, we can take stuff out of it and it'll deflate completely or take the whole bag off itself. So it's a bit of a win, and under 50 quid, it's a bloody bargain. We think it's going to be good. I'm going to go and test it now, and hopefully it won't fall off. Okay, Okay, so the final, super last minute thing that we're getting is, I've just driven away from Janine, is actually, I love synchronicities, and when we went to go and get the windows tinted, and we got this awesome ceramic tinting, the same company, so PRO-TINT in Leamington Spa, also have another company that's adjoined to the pro tinting place called MOTO, and MOTO is also based in Leamington Spa. And luck would have it, they basically do loads of stuff for vans. Loads of van installations, audio, security, navigation, tow bars, roof bar, everything that you can think of for vans, they did it. It was incredibly serendipitous. And so the guy, Greg, who runs the business, has helped me out with a problem that we've got, and that is that we've got no navigation. And the reason being is we've only got one cigarette lighter, and that's charging the fridge and potentially the power bank as well, which means we've got no more power sockets for navigation. So he said to bring it back in and we'll sort something out for you. So that's what I'm doing now. I've just come out of MOTO bars there. That was the most super last minute thing that you could possibly think of, but all of our dash now, thanks to Greg and the team there at MOTO bars, is completely voice controlled. So we've got satellite navigation, and we've got audio set up for it so I can use the phone, plus all media, WhatsApp, and it's just got digital radio now. It's incredible, and he's fitted a dash cam as well. So how lucky we were to go and get our windows tinted at a place, that PRO-TINT, that also has a separate business that does so much stuff for vans. I've got to give a massive shout out to those guys, because without them, I mean, they did us a massive favour by slipping us in last minute. They're called MOTO bars. They're based in Leamington Spa, Warwickshire. Well worth the visit. And travel to. I'll leave the link in the description. Go check them out if you've got anything you need to for your van, audio, security, tow bars, roof boxes, anything electrical. Go to see Greg at MOTO bars, and yeah, I think now roof bag, windows tinted, all of that stuff, I think we might be done. Only thing to do now is go live in the darn thing and go off traveling in it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Join us next time where we reveal the name of our new micro camper and finally move into the Berlingo for good and travel south, leaving the British shores behind as we head into Europe for the first time.
For in life, call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.